So I was impacted by something I read from the Bible last week. It was about not passing the baton of faith to the next generation, and obviously the horrible impact of that. And it really struck me because we live in a world today where there's so much going on, and the next generation is at stake if we do not do something about passing on the baton of faith to them. And so I just thought that something we should all talk about it. We should talk about it today, And so that's what we're going to be discussing today. And so if you're new here to my channel, you're very welcome. My name is Akwe, and I'm really, really, really excited that you're here today. Please don't make today your last. If you click on the subscribe button, there was something here that will bless you every Wednesday. And for every one of you who's been with me on this journey, thank you so much. I do not take it for granted. Right, so let's get into it quickly. I was reading from Judges chapter 2. So we're talking about when before just the last days of Joshua, and then he died and was buried. And then if you go all the way to verse 10, we're also talking about how they gathered all the fathers, like people in that generation, they all died and they were buried. And then a new generation arose. And now what really struck me was that this new generation did not know God or any of all the wonderful works that God has done in the life of the Israelites. And you're thinking a whole generation that arose did not know anything that happened. So all those stories, all those miracles, all the things God has done for them, it was not passed on to this generation. And then the very next verse talk about how they sinned against God and how they were not obeying God. And as a parent, that really, really, really struck me, because one of my greatest desires in life ever since I was having children was for my kids to know God. Because I want them to do well in their career and their marital life and everything, but when you seek God first, all those other things are added on like automatically, So it's always been my desire for my kids to know God. And so every day, my day-to-day life, I'm always striving to teach them about God, to tell them about my faith. Like, without a shadow of doubt, my kids know I'm a Christian. They know mommy loves Jesus. They know mommy loves her Bible. And that gives me joy, greater than any joy in this life, to know that my children actually know what I love, and they look up to me like wanting to love what I love as well. Do you understand? And so and we live in a generation today where there's so many other things that are ready to go into your child's heart and into your child's mind, different doctrines, different beliefs, different role models. So if you don't impact something in them, that place cannot be left void. Something else is going to fill that space, So I just really, like I said, and you might be thinking, well, I'm not a parent. Yeah, you're not a parent, but people look up to you. The younger generation looking up to you. What are you going to hand over to them? What faith legacy are you leaving, I mean, we know we're talking of different things you can hand over to your children, wealth and all that, but for me, the most important thing really is to pass over your faith to them. So I'm just going to just drag some few points or ways I think we can pass on the baton now to the next generation. One of them would be to what I would call walk the talk. I'm a lover of, one of my favorite words I always say, you can't give out what you don't have. Like, so if you're doing a relay race and then you hold the baton, you have to first have possession of that baton before you can pass it on to the next person, isn't it? So you're in a team and you hold on to it, on your mark, set, go, and then you can pass. If you do not have the baton in your hand, you cannot pass it to anyone. So first of all, it starts with us. It starts with you, every one of us right now. What do you hold? What do you possess? What's your faith level? What do you believe in? Do your children know that their parents love Jesus or they love God? Do you live out a life of faith? Because as a Christian, really, you're a follower of Jesus Christ, isn't it? And Christianity is not like a set of rules. It's a lifestyle. Like, you're meant to live out your faith. So do people see you? Did the younger generation see you and want to be like, oh? So when you tell them A, you are actually doing A, not doing B. Like, there's a popular song when I was growing up, do what I say, not what I do. No, your life should be able to attract them in so much that they want to look up to you, learn from you, So that's the first thing, really. We first have to really reconcile ourselves to God, have a personal relationship with God, live out your life daily. Just you're like a marketer, you're like an ambassador for God. So you have to behave like a child of God so that other people will want to come to God's kingdom. Yeah, because you're representing God's kingdoms, and so more so your kids. Because as a parent, first of all, like you're the first model that your children see. So did they see Jesus in you? The second thing I'll talk about, I can't make a point without using the word intentional, is that we need to be intentional in seizing teaching moments. Like the Bible says, you train up a child, so you're teaching. Now, yeah, who have morning devotions and all that. They're very important, but there's nothing more like I said, because Christianity is like a lifestyle. So your day to day, you're in the mall, you're in the park. When you see any window, any opportunity to chip in God and to teach about God, and I'm not talking about teaching like formal classroom, shoving it down people's throats. Really, no, I'm talking about teaching like just life generally. Life teaches us a lot of lessons. So as you do life daily with your children, every opportunity that you get, every window that you see, let God be put in those windows. Teach them about God. You're making a correction. You've done that to your sister, you've done that to your brother. What do you think Jesus would do? What do you think Jesus would act? Let God always come into the question. So very deliberate about it while you're doing your day-to-day life with them. Let them see Jesus in every situation. One other way I think we can pass on the baton to the next generation is as a parent or as a guardian to children of the next generation. You need to put your children in an environment where they can grow in the Lord, like take them to church, let them see you active in church, let them be involved in church, their classes, age appropriate classes and things like that for them. Sometimes you see people say things like, well, when they grow older, they will choose. Honestly, you can't be a true child, like a true Christian, and you know what God has done in your life and you know how important God is in your life, that you tell your children to choose when they grow older their own. Sorry, just 95% chance that they're not going to choose Jesus, because you haven't lived that path for them. You haven't shown them the path. You have to put them in that path, lead them while you're living out the life as well, but also put them in an environment that will help to nurture them and grow. And just like I said in the first time when I was talking about you living out the life, one thing as well will be, sometimes they take people to church, not really forcing them, like shoving it down their throat. Let your life reflect God so much that they want to actually follow you to church. Because you see a lot of people that will say, oh, well, when they were younger, they used to force them to church. So once they had the opportunity, I said they just absconded from church because your life wasn't really reflecting what you're telling them to go do in church. So you force them there every Sunday. You have to go, you have to go, you have to go, you have to quit. But when they see mommy, they see daddy, there's not those things, like that, their worlds apart. So like really, you just can't wait to get off that. But if your life is actually modeling what they see in church and as well, so they can marry them together, and then becomes the want to go. So these are some of the ways that I think that we can pass on the baton of faith to the next generation. Please, if you've got any more ways that you think so, please put in the comment section. And as well, what you're doing now as well to try and pass on that baton of faith to the next generation. Those older kids, how did you do it? Have you done it? Like just put in the comments so we can all learn. Like I'm learning every day. I've got young kids. I'm wanting to learn all the time, and we can help each other. So take this as a responsibility that we all have, and let's not have a generation where, because I was like, what? All those miracles that God did for the children of Israel, everything He brought them, all the promises He did, He gave to them and everything. That generation did not know anything about it. Like how? So let's not be like that. Let's and like I said, considering today's world where there's so much in the media, if you don't hand that baton to them, some other baton is going to be handed over to them. Yes, that's just the unfortunate truth. Okay, right. So that's it really. That's what I want to talk about today. And if this video has blessed you, please give it a like, share someone else I think is going to bless as well. And I'll see you next Wednesday. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel at the right time, let's pass on this button. I don't know, I'm trying to look very well to put them, but it doesn't rhyme. But you know what I'm talking about. Just click on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Like I always say, there's something here to bless you every Wednesday. Right? Good. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.